welcome to Ideas with Impact podcast. Today, joining me is Crystal Clement, a Tantra teacher and a spiritual practitioner who works at the intersection of consciousness, embodiment, and intimacy. Hello, Crystal.
Hi, gorgeous. How are you today?
Just great. Great to have you on, and
Thank you.
great to actually dip our toes in this conversation because I think it's such an important conversation.
It truly, truly is. And thank you for that wonderful introduction. I'm very grateful for such the kind words. Nice and short and sweet. I like that. That was good.
Yeah, thank you. So I'd love to begin having a conversation with you and really get into the root of why do you feel the body has been separated from spirituality for such a long time?
It's a really good question.
Mm.
Okay, some people might find this a little bit of woo-hoo or not true because they're so stuck within the indoctrination, within the conditioning. When you are separate from your true intelligence, from your own medicine, those nice big corporate companies, those families that pretty much run the one percenters that run the world, they have for hundreds of thousands of years diminished our connection to our medicine. Even they would even burn women at the stake. Witches or brujas, shamans, they come in and pillage communities and take their medicines away from them and our connection to Mother Earth. So when you create a society of unconsciousness that don't really tap back into who they are, where they are, who's supporting them, Mother Earth, and the medicines that Creator has provided for Mother Earth to for us to heal ourselves, then you can't be making trillions and trillions of dollars. And when you are in the school system or religious system, or even the spiritual communities do this, they try to teach you to look outside of you. And when you don't ask questions, you're a very good little bee worker. Well, you're not the queen bee, you're just the worker. So unfortunately, within our collective consciousness, this has been indoctrinated for hundreds of thousands of years. But luckily enough, people are waking up and they are remembering, and they're through depression and anxiety and this fast-paced life of where it's just like you are valued at how much work you do, you are valued at how hard you work, you are valued if you keep your mouth shut and you don't speak about things. And so people are in this energy where they've had enough. They've had enough, and they're like they know there's something more. There's something more than this. Like, go to work 9 to 5, come home, watch Netflix, feed the kids, take the kids to gym, take the kids to their exercises, do this, do that. And then you're exhausted. Okay, if I get a little meditation in and I do my workout and I eat clean, why do I still feel like shit? Why do I still feel like shit? So
Because you
people are
have to,
understanding.
yeah,
Yeah.
you have to get to the root of the
Yep.
problem, right?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
happening with it. Instead of, I've said that many times on the show, it's like, again, taking your shit, that's how you can say it, and like literally shoving it under the carpet or putting into the Pandora box and closing it and never look at it. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Exactly.
I had a conversation with someone yesterday and it was the same thing. We need to figure this out of how you can open that Pandora box, look at these things, and how can you move forward without completely not discarding of what's in the box. Because you have to look at it. It's like a dirty laundry. You have to go through it. You got to clean it to wear clean clothes, right?
Yeah. Yes.
The dirty clothes.
Well, you gotta air out the dirty laundry, as you would
Well,
say.
that's it. That's it, right? So, what begins to change when someone or the body is finally welcomed back this spirituality?
Well, you have to go through the process like a butterfly. You have to go into that cocoon and really grow yourself and understand yourself. Metamorphosis, like, right, that energy of fully blooming, and it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel really, really uncomfortable. It's going to feel this journey, it's a lifestyle. There's no end destination. That's the whole thing. There is no end destination. And when you actually take time to be gentle with yourself and honor yourself, and actually say, okay, I'm ready to let go of all of the belief systems, the stories, and the bullshit that's not mine, and actually figure out what is mine. And it can get really uncomfortable. They call it the dark night of the soul. You can have a few of those along on your journey, but when you come out on the other side and those wings come open, and you open to life, you're opening to learning, you're opening your heart, to be honest with you, to yourself and to others. And this is, it's a shift. Your energetic energy just shifts. And your old self is going to want to try to pull you back because it's comfortable there. It's comfortable in that stagnant shit. But if you get a little sprinkle and a little taste of that, they call, I guess, an awakening. I don't think there's ever a point where you're actually awoken, because you're human. There's always something to learn. There's always something to peel. That's what makes being a human so amazing and so exciting, right?
Never ending journey. It's like constant learning all the way to the end of our life.
Yeah. Listen, it's a bumpy fucking ride.
Yeah.
It's constant self-reflecting. It's constant, just keep on, you can make it an easy dance, or you can make it chaotic dance. And for me, I like both. I like being gentle, and I like being rough with myself. Going into plant medicines, it can be a gentle ride, or it can be ride, right? Some journeys that I take clients on, they are just feeling pure love, pure, like, just they're off in the cosmos and they've never felt love so deep before. And other journeys, you are screaming and crying. So it's not like there shouldn't be any expectations of how your journey, it's about really going with the flow, just going, like, allowing it to dance. And when the heavy shit comes up, just go into it, feel it, just feel it. We always want to suppress with drugs, suppress with shopping, suppress with gambling, suppress with eating, suppress with overworking out, right? Sometimes we can be too obsessed with too healthy, so that in alone is its own obsession. So when we allow ourselves to just flow into the dance, and when we feel like crap, I call it being schmoopy, when I'm feeling a bit schmoops, that I just allow it. Take my 2, 3 days to be in my schmoops, but then be like, "Kate, you've had enough now. You've had enough now. Let's move this energy. Let's go. Let's go." Yeah.
So, talking about energy, how does intention shape the energetic field for someone who, like you said, sometimes you are in the field of flow and sometimes you feel like you want to rip everybody's head off? How can someone set that intention?
Well, this is a really amazing question you've asked, because yesterday and the day before felt like, I call it, I have a beautiful client and we've been like connecting to her kitty energy, because she's super soft and gentle. And I always tell women, like, if like they're getting their moon cycles and they're feeling a bit, I'm like, ooh, they're in their, like,
You can feel.
I'm in my kitty energy. It just literally dropped today, in a lot of pain. I have a podcast I have to do today. How am I going to shift my energy and allow myself to be in my flow instead of canceling and being schmoopy? Just be like, okay, I'm going to make a beautiful cup of tea. I'm going to put my energy and my prayers in here. I'm going to light my candle. I'm going to bring my medicine bundle with me. And I'm just going to allow myself to be in my body. And I meditated before you and I wasn't even meditating. I just took a few breaths. I just took a few deep breaths and was like, just make sure my words come clear for whoever needs to hear it, and allow my body to relax the pain that it is. So there's so many different modalities and exercises we can do to allow ourselves to either just sit in the energy, allowing ourselves to sit in it, sit in the schmoop, sit in the feeling like shit, feeling the bitchiness, feeling the anger, feeling the rage come up. Or we can go, okay, let's make a cup of tea. What feels good for me? That's when we come back and be like, ask the body, put the hand on the heart. Put your hand on your womb. This works for men or women. And just taking 3 simple breaths in through the nose, belly out through the mouth, putting belly in, and having your eyes closed, connecting your roots down to Mother Earth. It's 3 breaths. Doesn't even take a minute. And you say, hey, what do you need from me? What do you need from me? How can I honor you? How can I love you? How can I see you? How can I nourish you? What do you need right now? Do you need to scream? Do you need to lie down? Do you need to get the heating pad out? Do you need a cup of tea? Do you need a foot massage? Do you need some ice cream? What do you need from me? So we don't have to make things complicated, right? We're not monks going into a cave for 20 years, right?
But
Like,
you know what it is? It's paying attention to these little things,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Have that self-compassion for yourself. As you said earlier, we're humans, things happen. It's just, again, the choices we make, paying attention to cues, and what really feels good in your body. What is irritating? What is, you feel these senses, especially as women, because we are going through the cycles, right? Like we go up and down because of our hormones. But it's so important to tune into that and to honor that, instead of, again, putting it away and forgetting about it. Again, being in that negative energy constantly, you sending that vibration to people around you, or in a situation, let's say you go to work or you on the bus. I'm very sensitive to energy. I can feel it. And I think a lot of people do without knowing. You come in and your face is already very kind of like, I'm angry. And people are like, "Whoa, I don't want to deal with you right now."
Well,
So
it's funny.
learn into it.
It's funny because I've got a maintenance man here in my building, and he's an old guy, okay? And he's a bit of a grumper. And I snapped at him. This was last summer, and I snapped at him. And the next day he did something to like apologize, to like make up for being a prick. And I was like, it's fine, no problem. And he goes, wow, geez, I would have thought you were on your period. And I was like, I had to laugh. I had to laugh because I'm like, well, he's right. I was, but that's what society thinks right away, right? And so then there's this form of shame that we hold, that we're too much. We're not allowed to hold. We're not allowed to have space of being in that fucking bitchy mood. Excuse my language. We're not allowed to. We got to suck it up, go to work, even while we're in pain or in menopause, premenopause. We're having super hot flashes. We don't feel good. Our brain fog is happening. And it's just like, we're supposed to like just crack on, just do your job, suck it up. Suck it up. And then there's so much shame within that. Like, even when we were little girls, when we got our period, it was like, oh, she's got, what they would say is, she's got the curse. Why in God's name would you tell a young little girl you got the curse, dear? So right then and there, indoctrinated. That 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 moon cycle of ours, that beautiful energy, that is our magic, our wisdom, our power. Our rage is our power as women. One of my teachers told me that, Joel Schaefer. He told me that, and when he told me that, I was like, and this is coming from a man. I was like, he's like, connect to it, Crystal. He's like that. He's like, you're too nice. Always so nice, so sweet. He's like,
Yeah.
connect to that rage. Don't direct it at anybody, but connect to it. Feel it. So it's with the energy, especially in the female collective consciousness, it is really for us as women with our children, our grandchildren, even if they're boys or girls, to teach them to honor this time for themselves. You know, in indigenous communities, they would put us in tents and let us be in our own medicine because they saw it as medicine
Right.
to be in our own time, our own body, our own space. We didn't cook, we didn't clean, we didn't work. I think we need to bring those days back, don't we?
Yeah. Well, like you said, in some cultures, they still celebrate that in young women when she starts her menstrual cycle.
Yeah.
It's honored. They welcome to being a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's even with young men. They don't celebrate young men moving into in our Western culture, moving into manhood. They would usually send them off to the woods and for a vision quest to really go into what being a man is and being in brotherhood and being part of the community and holding your community, holding yourself. And I would think to myself, like, I get frustrated, but I'm like, what does frustration do for you, Crystal? Nothing. So let's alchemize it. Let's share. Let's share. And how do we move from a culture that is so phone, swipe, quick and dope, quick fixes for everything, porn culture, addiction culture, right? Like fast
You said it.
gratification.
You said it. It's a quick dopamine. It's just give. You get excited, and then it falls, and then you want it again. So it's again kind of going into that vicious circle, constantly doing the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's I've been talking a lot about this on my social media, shame, and
Mhm.
it really is. There's so much of it. Like even with when going on Instagram, it's like, oh, look at their page, look at how many followers they have, look at how many likes they have. Why isn't mine that? Da, da, da. And it's like, look at her or look at him, and he looks like that or she looks like that. I want to be like that, but it's like, even in the dating scene, it's like swipe, 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 like. And then it's like, then you get some comments from people, oh, do you want to go out on a date? And you don't even actually get to that point, but it's like you get this dopamine rush from these apps, but there's no real, true, authentic energy behind there. Yeah.
I've been speaking to quite a bit of women, and women who are single are really having a hard time connecting with men. And I'm talking about women who are in the space of awakening and, being more conscious and things like that, who are actually looking to get more from life than just being the wife, being the,
Yeah.
mother, and so on, right? So it's very interesting times, especially for us women in our mid 50s and 50s, to go through that stage. There's a lot of single women out there who choose not to get in a relationship, or
Mhm.
they're really having a hard time.
Yeah. Well, my journey from being married and divorced and then in the dating scene, I have been celibate now. I'm going on my fourth time. Was celibate for a year, dated. And I was like, nope, celibate again for another year, dated. And then that was like, nope, again. And then I was celibate for 2 years. And then I just separated from my partner. And I'm very happy to be celibate once again because really everybody, when we look at things, especially with relationships, we're mirrors with each other, right?
Yeah.
So if we are calling in what partnership we're calling in, it's a reflection of us, right? So I'll give you an example of my last partner. We had beautiful deep conversations, we played games, beautiful intimacy, but he wasn't consistent with our communication outside of each other. And that doesn't sit well with me. And he ended up lying and cheating on me. So instead of blaming him, I thought, okay, where am I not communicating with myself? And where am I lying and cheating on myself? Where am I lying and cheating on myself? So this is a gift that he got to give me. So any relationship I have, I look at it as a gift. Like what are you
Yep.
reflecting to me that I still need to look at for myself? So I would say to women and men, if they're having a quote unquote hard time, then where's the hard time with them? Where's the hard time you're having with your own self? And what kind of energies are you calling in to look at and to work at, right? So especially if we're in the conscious spiritual realm, I find I don't really date people in this spiritual community. I rather date somebody that's curious about it. And because when unfortunately there's a lot of unconscious men and women in the spiritual community, and it's a lot I find they're even more toxic relationships than a regular relationship,
Yeah.
to be honest with
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
It's like that bypassing.
They
Yeah.
gaslight, oh, this is your work, you got to do this, and I'm, or it's like they try to do like with open relationships, which I'm all for if it's done clean and with integrity. But there's a lot of I've been in a lot of different spiritual communities, and I see there's a lot of messy yucky stuff in there, especially because men they'll get themselves of thinking that they're gurus, and then you have women come in that have been sexually abused, and they're trying to find themselves, or just mentally abused or exhausted, or they're looking for enlightenment, they're looking for something, and then they find, then it's like a breeding ground for men. Don't get me wrong, there's women gurus that do this as well. It's just it's not, there's not just men or women, because I know men that have been caught in this where there's been women that have abused their authority as well and not been in their integrity. So I would just say, maybe don't look for somebody in the spiritual community. Maybe just look for somebody that has a beautiful heart and call that in. Don't call in like, I want a man that's spiritual and that's doing his work. Well, if he's doing his work, it means he's still doing his work. So maybe just call in somebody that's got a kind heart, that's open to explore this realm with you, and to be careful what you call in. Words are spells. You're casting a spell, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Think before you do something for sure. Yeah.
Well,
So,
it's very funny when we call in stuff, right? We call in, like, I call in abundance. Well, what kind of abundance are you calling in,
but
right?
also, what kind of state are you in? Right? Because you can call the abundance, but deep inside, if you sit in the negative vibration and you have, a lot of negative thoughts, you actually calling the negative things into your life.
100% love, right? And it's like, be clear to what you want. The creator likes clarity, right? If I want abundance, what do I want abundance of? I want abundance, let's say hypothetically, of patience. What are you going to get? You're going to get somebody that's going to cut you off when you're driving to see how patient are you, right? I want abundance of money. Okay, perfect. But you got to understand that the money is an energy, it's frequency, it goes and comes and goes. Or I want the abundance of more love. So you're going to be put into positions of like where you can accept more love, and maybe you're not in a place to accept that yet, and it may not feel good. So it's exactly what you said, like you got to figure out where you're at and how you're calling it in, right? So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very never an ending journey. You're on this path to figure shit out.
Yeah.
And that's why there's people who can perhaps help a little bit, guide you. They can never do the work for you. You're the person who have to do the work for yourself. But I think once you start dipping your toes into this whole experience, for me personally, I could never go back because
No,
I
neither.
am so open to be like, okay, what's out there? I want to know, I
Yeah.
want to learn, I want to experience, so yeah.
Yeah, this is the thing when clients come to me, they're like, I'm broken. And I'm like, no, you can't. There's no, I'm like, you can feel broken, but you're not broken. It just doesn't work like that. But you can remember, and it's my job. My job is to awaken the remembrance of who you actually are. That you are your own medicine person, that you are your own shaman, that you are the gift. You are your own alchemy. And I'm just a vessel that gets to ride along with you on your journey and to like awaken little things, plant little seeds that are already there and like maybe water them a bit. And for you to just remember, because it's there, There's disconnection from it. It's there. We just have to remember it. And the only thing that's disconnected us from it is the conditioning. It's the bullshit. And I always tell clients to, I say, when you have a story, ask yourself, is that my story? Is this mine? Is this my belief system? And like really, again, go into that 3 breath, right? Go into that 3 breath and touch your body and be like, is this my story? Is my story that money doesn't grow on trees? No, that's not my story. That's my parents' story. Is my story that my moon cycle is shameful? No, that was told to me that was like a curse. That's actually not my story. Right?
Right. So
So
rewrite
it's
it. Turn the page is brand new. Rewrite your own story.
exactly. And that's what I tell them. I'm like, remember, you're the storyteller, not the story. So if you keep on going and telling people, I'm broke, I have no money, poor me, I can't pay my bills, then what are you asking for? More of that. If you write your story and say, you know what, I'm just in a little financial transition right now, but I'm so excited because there's projects coming up and I know I'm going to be living here in 2 years. I'm going to be in Costa Rica running retreats. So, 2 different frequencies, 2 different
Yeah.
energies, right? 2 whole different energies. It's not bypassing. We're not bypassing anything. You can own, I'm in a financial situation right now, but I'm so excited to be working on it and moving out of it and reclaiming back my right. I'm just reorganizing some old bullshit stories that weren't even mine in my body, so it's how we word things and how we talk to ourselves and how we talk to other people.
Yeah. Yeah,
Super important.
it's very important. Yeah. Thank you for bringing this up because we get so into our head and then we forget, right? So again, it's like living that fast pace, doing all these things, the fast living, 9 to 5 jobs, the soccer or football, whatever it is with the kids, and it's like getting into that cycle constantly and we forget. So yeah.
Yeah, it's true. But that's the thing. When the kids are doing stuff, do your own stuff. Do
Yeah.
your own stuff. You know,
Yeah.
when they're practicing, you don't really need to watch the practice. Do your own
Yeah.
stuff. You watch the game, right? We got to find those times, especially when we live in this society, right? We're not in the jungles right now. That's when all the kids are off to school. We get to move to the jungles and do us. But until then, we have to find those pockets of time to really take for ourselves. Even when you're driving, I tell clients, my men and women, to connect to their sexual energy when they're driving. I tell them to do the red light special. I said, I'm bringing Amsterdam to you in your car. And they look at me and they're like, what? I'm like, when you're driving, either if you're at a stop sign or you're at a red light, I want you to do a Kegel. I want you to squeeze your yoni or your lingam and your anus, and I want you to pull that energy up nice and gently. We're not like squeezing it. We're just like at the red light and we're just going to pump, 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 pump. And all of a sudden, you got a nice little smile on your face because you're connecting to your creative sexual energy and you're pumping that energy up through your body and you're kind of squeezing. And even if you have a song on and it's got a good like bass, you can kind of like pump, 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 you can play. Right? Like this is the whole thing, is incorporating these little tiny fun exercises. Make it fun, keep it simple, and allow yourself to like slowly, it just kind of comes in through your whole day. Like you're doing the dishes and you're pumping your yoni, So I call them, like, if people are like, what's a yoni and a lingam? I'm like, it's a pussy and penis pump.
That's a good way to describe, yes.
Just give it a little pump. And then you're connecting. You're just without having to be
Yeah.
like, oh, I got to sit for 20 minutes and I got to do this exercise. It's like, no, you're driving. And right anywhere, you're standing in the grocery line, you can start giving couple little pumps, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you're starting to feel energy there again. You're starting to feel more creativity again. And you're just like, hey, what is that? And it's like, and then you're smiling, and then a smile chucks off to somebody else, and they're like, why are they smiling so hard? And it's like, only if you knew.
So this will bring me to a question
Okay.
about Tantra, because
Okay.
Tantra is so often misunderstood.
Mm.
So from your perspective, what is Tantra really inviting us into?
That's a beautiful question. Well, Tantra actually means technique. You're mastering the technique of your creative sexual energy. When the Western culture has really made a mockery out of Tantra, and they've very heavily, heavily, heavily sexualized it. When it comes down to mastering that energy, bringing I don't even like saying sexual energy because it's creative energy. That's actually the name of it. It's not called sexual energy. It's in your sexual organs, like your reproductive system, but it's not actual sexual energy. It's create, because that's where you create a life, you create humans there. It's actually creative energy. You have sex, right? So they've actually kind of made a mockery out of it, and it's creative energy. For people to know, I'll say sexual energy. What we're doing and what we're trying to master is bringing that energy from our yoni and our lingam, our vagina and our penis, and bringing the sexual energy, the creative energy, up through the whole body and circulating it back down. So we're bringing it back through the spine, and we're circulating it all the way down back to the root chakra and bringing it all the way back up. This is called the microcosmic orb. Super easy to do, super easy to master. It's with the breath, in through the nose, belly out through the mouth, belly in. So then we're regulating our nervous system, and we're bringing this energy through. When we are, instead of having an orgasm just through our lower chakras, we're bringing all of that sexual energy up through the whole system, through the aura, the light body, the energetic body, and we're allowing the breath to take us through to a whole beautiful journey. We're just allowing the breath to just expand that energy, expand that energy, expand that energy. And you can have a full body orgasm. And you can ask this energy as well to help heal you. If you have physical pain, if you have mind fog, I work with this energy to clear stuff in my womb. I work with this energy when I need more energy. I work with this energy to shake stagnant energy out of my body. This energy is not just for sex. Number one, you create a life. And so other people, like artists, athletes, they won't ejaculate. They'll move their sexual energy through their whole body so they can be more creative. So if you're doing a project, even if you do deplete your sexual energy, do something with it. Use your orgasm for something. Amplify it. I send it down to Mother Earth. Be like, I offer this orgasm to you to nourish you. Offer, if you have chest pains, if you have constant migraines, you can use your orgasm to send that energy to wherever place. You can even send it to somebody else that's in need of sexual energy, of creative energy. But of course, we always ask everybody's permission. Always, always,
Right.
always. We don't just send energy to anybody because that's sorcery, and that's not the realm that we're working in. The potential of tantric energy is expansive. Tantra is only 2% sex based. You can use this energy when you're having sex, but you have this potential all the time. What are you doing with your sexual energy when you're not making a baby? What are you creating? Most people, nothing. It's stagnant, right? So I get to teach people how to connect to it, right? Just even there, that exercise. I just taught you an exercise and everybody else an exercise to connect to that energy. Just a cute little plain little pump to kind of get to understand it and to use it and to utilize it a little bit more and to be like, how does that feel? How does it feel when I pump my yoni? Does it feel good? Do I feel shame there? Do I feel resistance? Do I feel silly? And it's about going in and asking those questions. And that's what Tantra is. It's like to master that energy, to really understand it and know it and to utilize it because it's your medicine. It's actually your gift, right?
So
Yeah.
Tantra is basically less about the technique and more about the awareness.
I would say it's both. It's 50-50 because Tantra means technique. It's mastering the technique. It's mastering your sexual energy. It's mastering your creative energy. That's what you're doing. So through different modalities, you can get yourself there to mastery. You can be a tantric master. I'm not fully there yet, but
Right.
I try to work on it every day to get myself there. But I don't think there's any end result, is there? I'm always going to be practicing. For me, Tantra is a lifestyle. It's a way that I live constantly. I'm always checking in and feeling and allowing myself to move in any way that I feel desired with honoring myself and everybody around me. Yeah.
Is
That's
that
called
true?
sex magic. Yeah, that's
Is
called
it
sex
called that?
magic. Yeah. Ooh, we're getting to the yummy, delicious stuff now.
We are.
Yes,
So
it's
how,
beautiful.
yeah, can you explain that what that
Yeah,
is?
no problem. So if you are able to first have that technique and to utilize and move the breath and move the energy through, like circulating it through the microcosmic orb, you set your intention. You can do it on your own, going into self-pleasure, or you can do this with a partner. It's up to you. Some people do it in groups, right? They do conscious sex magic with each other. And it's not with each other, it's just everybody will be having a little wank and they'll send out energy of just love to the world, to the humans. So if you have something written down, let's say you want a new house. You want it 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, big backyard, out in Gatineau Hills, and you have a clear vision of it. So you work on this before. You have a clear vision of it, you work on it, you allow it to like kind of muster into your field for a bit. And I would say maybe a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whenever you feel ready that you've got it and you know what you want, you have it all down. You can either put it underneath where you're making love or where you're going into self pleasure. And when you're at the peak of orgasm, so you're moving the body, the energy through, you're moving the body and you're thinking about it, and that's what you're thinking about. You're just thinking about this beautiful new home, how you're going to feel in there, who's coming over, your dinner parties in the backyard, having your coffee in the morning with hearing the birds sing and deer are walking by on your land, right? Like you're really feeling it. And at the point of your peak of orgasm, you amplify it, you feel it, and then you out into the universe. And then on that piece of paper, you'll have your divine essence. And then you can wrap it up and bury it and give it to Mother Earth, or you can put it in the waters and let it float away. If you want to do that, you don't have to have the piece of paper. That's one way of doing it. But I find that helps because it's written down. It's like, it's official. It's official. So that's one little technique of sex magic. There's multiples. Yeah. Yeah.
So if someone, for example, has issue trusting their body, Like many people have a lot of broken systems. We talked about fear. How can we begin to rebuild that trust and really turn into our body and start listening to that?
I would say do a forgiveness ceremony with your body. Do a forgiveness ceremony with your body. And again, start off with the 3 breaths. Just 3 breaths. Ground yourself down to mother. And just visualize roots coming out. Even if you don't see things, just say it. I ground myself now to you, Mother Earth. Again, put your hands on your body where you need to feel, where it feels most comfortable, where you're guided. Trust the guidance and tell your body, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I let other people indoctrinate you. I'm sorry that I let other people condition you. I'm sorry that I haven't seen you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for whatever comes up, just apologize to it and say, I need your forgiveness because now I'm ready to work with you and I'm ready to build a relationship with you and a safe container with you. And I am here to be patient, because if you haven't had this connection for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, don't expect just because you said sorry to it, it's going to start talking. This takes time. This takes time. So I would be doing this every day, just for even a minute, just being like, hi, how are you? How are you today? What one thing can I do today to build our relationship? That's a great question to start your relationship with your body. What is one thing that I can do for you today that will build our relationship with more trust? So yeah, go into the forgiveness ceremony and just tell your body, I'm ready. I'm ready now. I'm ready to show up and I'm fucking sorry. I I do this quite often, a couple times a year. And the first time I did it, I bawled like a baby for about an hour because my past is heavy with sexual shame and abuse and sexual abuse and allowing people to do things that I shouldn't have. And I put an immense of drugs and alcohol into my body. I wasn't good to her, but I didn't know, right? I didn't know anything different. So she's still forgiving me, but our relationship now is phenomenal compared to what it was. So it takes time. Be gentle and be patient. Be gentle and be patient. It takes time.
What surprises people the most when they start listening to their bodies? What do they notice?
How much pain and shame is there held in there?
That's a deep one.
Yeah. They people get scared, and then they don't want to do the work. They get frightened and they don't want to do the work. They're like they're like, whoa, I don't know if I'm ready. So that's why I say be patient and be gentle. And if that resistance comes up, it's okay. Just little baby steps and just ask that question again. What can I do one thing today that can love you more? That's it.
That is very powerful because our bodies are like sponges. We absorb these things, right? So it's like peeling that onion and getting into that onion of what really caused these things and recognize them and accepting them. Because again, you can't just dust them off and forget about it. We really have to go inwards and really feel that. So
Yeah. Super powerful. Super powerful. It doesn't have to be big and elaborate. These ceremonies can just be one sentence, right? Gratitude changes the attitude. Be grateful. Tell your body how grateful you are for it and that it's kept you alive this long and that you're just ready to change your relationship with it. It's like it's a marriage. It's not
yeah.
always going to be easy, and sometimes we literally abuse ourselves and we don't even know it. We don't even know it.
Why do you think pleasure has been suppressed um, for such a long time historically?
Well, it comes back to where conscious pleasure, right? There's a thing of being a pervert and then there's a conscious pervert, right? A pervert, it's an unwilling parties and against people's will. When we're conscious about our sensuality, our sexuality, and even our kinks and our perversion, then there's no shame. And I think when it comes back down to the collective of like the big guys, when you like, especially look at the churches, if you masturbate, you're going to hell. You know, I heard even when I was a kid, if you masturbate, you grow hair on your hands. So I would look at my hands. I'm like, am I going to turn into a wolf?
Wow. Okay, that's I've never
Right?
heard that one before, but oh my goodness.
I
Yeah,
know.
that creates a blockage because you think it's such a bad thing.
Such a bad thing. And so when you create these ways of not being able to teach people or children healthy pleasure, right? When a child is exploring their genitals, we don't, oh, that's bad, don't do that. It's just like, hey, buddy, amazing that you're amazing. I love that you found that and you are finding it feeling amazing. Perfect. But you know what? Why don't we, until you're older, you're going to share that energy with somebody else. But for right now, you're just going to go into your room and you're just going to have a good time on your own because that's for you. That's your time. It's sacred, it's special, and it's honorable for you. So
Right.
I'm so proud of you that you're feeling good about it and you're exploring it, but that's sacred for you, right? And if we teach them that at a young age, they're going to grow up with not wanting to watch porn. They're going to grow up to
Yeah.
have healthy, conscious relationships because they're going to know, hey, that girl or that boy, that's their sacred part as well. And two sacred parts coming together. And so the conversations just start changing as the children get older.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, when we're disconnected from true pleasure, you're disconnected from your medicine. So then once again, when you're disconnected from your power and your medicine, you're just some little robot that eats, shits, and works and takes medication for your depression or whatever it is you have, your anxiety.
Suppress the emotional connection. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And you control people. When you control the masses, you control everything. And that's what it is. The society, it's a control thing. And if you understand the intelligence that you are, you can't control you anymore. Right?
It's very interesting because I was reading statistics somewhere about the Pornhub, and
Mm,
apparently it's the biggest ever right now at this time. It's like, again, for me, looking at the statistics of that is, I mean, Epstein files, hello. There's such a disconnect, right? Again, between our pleasure and hiding behind the closed door. And because we are so connected now worldwide through the internet, it's a click of a button, like you said, swipe, swipe, swipe. And we
yeah.
live in this pace of fast, quick, uh, ejaculating within a second instead of continuing that moment, right? Um, there's that disconnect,
Yeah. Huge.
of that spiritual connection, that again, part of the sexual connection with another human. Yeah.
Yeah. We're changing it. We're going to alchemize it because there is this one woman, her name is Erica Lust, and she's does conscious integrity, ethical porn. She's phenomenal. These are just regular Joes working in banks, people, right? She screens people. There's not no porn stars. That's not what it is. I feel like there's a place for eroticness when it's conscious, right?
Yes.
All conscious willing parties. The percentage of human trafficking within the porn industry is disgusting. It's disgusting. So I even had a chat with my son and even his friends. I said, if you guys watch that, you know, most of those girls are human trafficked and they don't want to be there and they're high on drugs. And the only reason that they're there and smiling is because they're told that their families will be killed. I said, so Be careful what you
Yeah.
put here. Be careful what you're putting in here, because it goes into your whole system. And I have quite a few younger male clients that have not erectile dysfunction, that they ejaculate too quick. And it's because they watch porn. So if you work with me, you're not allowed to watch porn. I get you to go back into your imagination, to be creative, and do it in a conscious, healthy way, right? And I even tell people, if you're going to masturbate and think about somebody else, you need their permission. You need their permission. You can't just wank and think about somebody else. I'm like, you're invading their energy field. I said, and so when you're doing that and watching Pornhub, you're invading somebody's energy field, and it's not conscious. So having these conversations with your kids is so important. And I'm a part of a football community, and a lot of these moms are scared to have conversations with their kids, right? Even to tell them how to put a condom on. And I'm like, they're like, oh, they can learn it off of YouTube. I'm like, you're the parent.
It's because, again, it's the shame that they were brought in and what they're bringing from their childhood, right? They're bringing it into their own kids. I think you bring in a really good point, because I have two boys as well. And we've had a couple of conversations, both me and my husband, and we very clear and very open about it. There's no shame whatsoever. And I mean, I want to create that environment when anything happens, or if they have any questions, they can openly come and ask. If they don't want to, or they don't feel comfortable asking me, which is totally fine, they can go and ask their dad.
Yeah.
You know?
It's beautiful. I love that. I love that, because to have an open dialogue, my son does. He's kind of like rolls his eyes, but then at the same time, it's if there's things that need to be said, he'll ask.
Yeah, but you know what? Listen, even if they roll their eyes, they're absorbing the information.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
it comes to the point, when they come together or they go to a party and I don't know, I mean, they're watching something that it's kind of, let's say they're watching porn. There's five guys watching something. They will have it a little bit of more understanding, and they won't get to a point where like, oh, either they'll leave the room, or they'll be like, hey, nothing's happening. I'm cool with it. I had a conversation with my parents. I'm totally cool. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. This is a whole nother show we can do, honey. Like this one, I can talk for about an hour. Yeah.
Listen, I would definitely love, because I have so many questions still for
Perfect.
you, and I know we're running out of time, but let's end here, and I would love for you to share a final thought with us.
Okay.
If there's anything that comes to you that you'd like to pour out, the show is yours right now. Go ahead.
Amazing. Okay. Well, thank you for having me, sweetheart. It was a pleasure, and I'm really, really excited for us to do this again. I love this. The last thing I would like to share is just be kind to yourself. Remember, what is within is without. If this isn't feeling good, it's going to show on the outer world. You are not separate from anything, and you have immense magic within you. You are your own medicine person. You are the magic. You are the infinite, divine, beautiful being. And don't let anybody tell you any different.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Find that spark.
Yeah, exactly, mama. Mm-hmm.
Crystal, I am so happy that you came on again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We could probably have another hour of conversation here.
Yes.
Like I said, I have so many questions, but so little time. Please join me next time to continue this conversation, because, again, I think this conversation is so important for us women, for men, for younger generations to talk about this and not be closed off, not be shy. Literally finding, like you said, finding that true inner happiness, try find your spark. You are
Yes.
who you are. We are humans. We are here to pleasure. There's nothing wrong with that, right? So
Yes.
thank you so much. I really truly appreciate that.
Thank you, mi amor.
Thank you.
Beautiful.